I need my glasses to read. I started here without glasses, now I'm wearing them. Okay, being in this industry for 31 years, one of the most important things for me personally, and I think for all the professional title people, are to preserve the integrity of our database, that we can provide all the realtors a way to earn a living. If we compromise our database and documents are done incorrectly or there's forged documents, I think it hurts everyone in the future. So that's one of the most important reasons why title companies are very careful with documentation, and sometimes we seem picky, but we do it for a purpose. So let me tell you a couple of things that we're really being very careful about. When we have certain warning signs the title company is looking at, I think Marcus and Annie, all of the title company has general rules, and the advisory TOs from all the title officers from all the title company, they know each other. So they'll be calling Marcus' company or Annie's company or Stewart Title or just to verify some of the information. So this is something that we do have a communication going with all the title companies. Right now, what we look at is one of the biggest key. When you look at property information as an agent, if you see multiple transfers on title, that's a big sign. Then we're going to look at why are they transferring 3 times in 1 year. And that means if you get that listing, we're going to ask you those questions and we're going to find the answers. So that's one warning sign. Free and clear property, that's another one we're very careful about. We will be looking at the reconveyances because we've caught, I think all the title companies caught a lot of fake notarized reconveyances. That's why right now in your prelim, even though there's a reconveyance, we still stake the loan, and we do, which I get blamed, and I think Marcus, all of you, Annie, we all get say, well, it's reconveying, why are you asking for more proof? Because there are a lot of fake reconveyances. It hasn't happened before, but the last 5-6 years, a lot of them. We would also look at who the escrow holders are. If we see an escrow holder that we don't know, and believe me, we know most of the people, we will be more careful on the transfers. A lot of these frauds happens in the short sales, distressed property, and they're using escrow holders that are not legitimate escrow holders to do the transaction. In this area, I haven't seen, we use our good escrow offices. We have really good independent escrow offices. That's something we will do. As an agent, if you never met the principal face to face, most of you are smarter than that. And some of my agents say, well, this person is signing for him, they have a power of attorney, and don't worry, it's a LLC. The person that owns the LLC will sign. And you actually, the agent never met the principal. So sometimes I'll be involved in trying to get things done correctly. All right. And also title company, when we see unreasonable rushes and urgent requests, like, we got to close it today. And I'm looking, there's no loan on it. Why are we not doing any payoff? And it's an investment property, nobody's moved in, it's a vacant, why are they in a big hurry to close? Those are the red flags that we get. All right, so we will ask questions. And I've been told by my boss, Nancy, drive over there, I want to see who's there. I've done that before, personally inspecting the property. Usually I would tell the listing agent, but sometimes I won't even say anything. And that's just protecting the integrity of our business. And some of you have to understand, why do we do that? Who are we responsible for? Title company, our responsibility is towards the buyer. We're insuring their property. So we do need to clean up the title and make sure the buyer is getting good title on it. All right, I passed out this. There are things that I'm not going to be able to go through, but everybody has a handout. This is really interesting. And I got a call from a realtor. This wasn't myself. He represented the buyer. It was a free and clear property. The buyer is an absentee buyer. No loan on it. Remember I said free and clear? Okay. he called me by a recommendation of an escrow officer, called me and said she'll know what to do. He's been going to the property to take mail out the mailbox. This is a good agent, he'd help his buyer out. Found there was a fraud notification. The county sends out a transfer deed. They see a new deed transfer without a purchase. They'll send, or any recorded document to the owner, said, this is the document that we found and we recorded. If it's not you, and you didn't do this, please contact us. He found it, and this is the property that got recorded. The first one is May 10, 2011. Okay, this is a legitimate sale. That was the property they bought in May 10, 2011. And you can tell, equity title is on there, equity title insured it. And a good escrow officer did this transfer, did the purchase. Then, January 2012, 6 months, 8 months later, the owner became mom. The owner before was Lee. There was 2 people on title, and they don't live in this country. So now all of a sudden I block out the names just to make sure. Now the owner is really mom. This is what the owner got in the mail. The realtor opened the mail. This copy came with the county. And there is a good notary, and there is a signature. All right, he told me that's not the signature. Like, it's free and clear, and it's an all-cash offer. I don't have a signature of the borrower because there's no deed of trust recorded. So this guy recorded, and the agent said, Nancy, this is not my buyer's signature. Okay. Because the property is in Arcadia, I told him to report to this police department there's a fraud. Then I tracked down the notary, Francis Wong. He's a good guy. I tracked him down, found his office in Monterey Park, went to him and showed him this. This is, well, I wasn't even in this country. I was on vacation in Hong Kong when this thing was signed. And this was not his signature at the notary. Okay, the stamp looked legitimate. With the computer technology now, maybe somebody scanned one of his other notaries and doctored it and made another stamp. I have no idea. So I told him, you do business in Monterey Park, please report it to the Monterey Park Police Department Fraud Division. It's really good. Within 24 hours, the City of Monterey Park detective in the Fraud Division, I tried to get his name last night, I forgot his name, called me and said, I don't know why this is a problem. Nancy could explain, or why do they want to do that? They can go out and get a refi really quick. It's a $2 million home, free and clear, with no loan on it. You think there's no lender, or what if the interest rate was 15? They don't care how many lender will loan on it, they'll just let it foreclose. They'll take the money and let it foreclose. And if they do enough of this, they'll get millions of dollars in a matter of months. So we did, I called my boss, we did notify all the related title companies and please, this is a red flag, do not do anything on the title. Fortunately, this is what happened. Right away reported to all the title company, this Mr. Ma now calls escrow. I think the lender wanted more documentation now because he has to do refi. And of course he doesn't have closing statements. He doesn't have any information on the escrow. So he called escrow a few times, and escrow already know we're on it together. We don't want him to have anything, so we kind of set him up, and the detective was there. It was a sting operation. The plainclothes detective was there, and there was a police car parked on the other side of the street in a shopping center, so they don't know. And the guy came in and wanted to pick up all the closing statements. He said he lost it, he moved, all this stuff, all the reasoning came out. They did handcuff him and took him away. Found 5 or 6 different driver's license on him, all phony. I looked at them, they looked legitimate to me, but the detective said it was fake. So they took him away. This is a big thing right now. The detective told me and the escrow saying, there's a group of people in the city of Diamond Bar, and there's one in Glendale, and something in West Hollywood. They've been talking to each other. There's a group of people. Maybe this guy that went in to try to get the paper was just somebody that they paid to do it. He had a driver license with his name on it, Mom. Okay, so I'm glad we caught him and we can protect the consumer. So do I have any more time? No? Okay. So I will pass those out, make copies of other things and pass them out about a fake hut one.
Tell us who would be liable if this went through?
Title will. The title that insured the loan will have to pay off the loan. Okay, we're not in the business, what? Realtor and title escrow, we're in the business to make money. So we're eliminating risk. So when we tell you, Tom, I got to get more document, we can't close the deal, believe me, I'm really protecting all of us. I don't want to see you in court. You don't see me in court, you'll see our big attorneys in court. But that's not the place, that's not how we want to make money. So thank you very much. I'm going to turn this to my wife.
Let's give a hand for the original Charlie's Angel. I think that was great where she was ready to go the extra mile. Now, Nancy said something about, we normally know the escrows that we have, but we're a title company, we're in it for business. We occasionally get escrows that open up by way of an email. Here's a fraud case that happened with us, and if we could put on the screen. We had a company that got in touch with our title officer and opened up an escrow as an escrow company. And we opened it up, they sent us information on the property, and we provided them with a prelim, okay? That prelim, pardon, do I need to, okay, sorry. Hold on really quick, technical challenges here. Need to make mirroring.
That's why I allow me.
That's you. It should be mirroring now. At any point, I can keep on talking if it doesn't go through. If it goes through, fine. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's Apple TV. Anyhow, and a prelim was provided to this fake company, and they took that prelim and they doctored it up. What they did was they changed the escrow name, they put the escrow name on there, they changed the title officer's information on it, and then what they did was they solicited 4 hard money lenders to make a sale on this property that wasn't for sale. So we just knew that there was an open order, but no title company is going to call and say, look at their batch of open orders and say, are you ready to close now? Nobody does that. We close when escrow says we're ready. They're ready to close. A few months went by, and we get a call from a lender all of a sudden that says, are you such and such? Is this a person where such and such title officer works? And they said, there's no such person. This group of ring of fraudsters got together and they managed to fund one loan and close on a property that wasn't for sale to the tune of like $700,000. They were able to close, and it was closed, and it got wired to a company that they'd taken our prelim. They had changed the title officer's name. They changed the wiring instructions. They opened up a fake bank, and just in time, they were able to fund this loan and get it. Now, here's a question, and this is a question that's been brought to the DA. The people that did this knew exactly how escrow, title, and real estate works. Because what is implied now, oh, there we go, hold on, there we go. What's implied now, okay, here we go. Although I doubt it's going to say it. I just circled the part where they changed, and they also changed the. I wish I could, but it's. I mean, if you need copies of it, you can see. But they changed the title officer's name. The other part that's implied. The other part that's implied is they had to have had an inspection or a walkthrough. how was that done? And what the DEA is telling us now is that they actually had a realtor imposter that came to it. So these people are crafty. They're working in groups like Nancy says. They know everything from the intricate last detail of how the process should go. Now, there's also I also want to mention the fact that there are some things that can come to mind. There are some red flags that you need to know about. And the one that's most important, the one that we're seeing a lot of, are transfers in title. Did you know that every time that somebody is put on title after it was insured originally, it's known as an uninsured grant deed? Doesn't mean that it's not valid. It means that it's not covered by the insurance that was originally there for the sake of the buyer. And another thing that people don't understand is that they're saying, clients are coming to you, to the realtor, and saying, I need help, I need to put my mom on title. And they're giving you these scenarios, and they're asking you to facilitate an accommodation. What you don't realize is some people are taking advantage of how that is done to see if they can't get a stamp of your title company, if they can't come up with a name of, so when the lights are all on them, they can just divert attention and bring it to the person who just was answering a question. So keep in mind, when somebody wants to put somebody on title, they need to speak to somebody, especially if they are saying that they want to do it for inheritance purposes. They need to speak to an attorney, a real estate attorney. They need to go to LegalZoom.com to do that, so that it's done right. And what people don't realize, later they come back to the realtor and they said, oh, you know what, here we're in probate now because, I put my mom on the title, but I was married, and all these other little factors that because we live in a community property state, they come back to you and they say, why'd you tell me that I should just put my mom on title? When what you really should have said, you need to speak to a real estate attorney or an estate attorney and put a trust together and make sure that all these tax consequences are taken care of. Because that's another thing that happens. Whenever somebody changes, when you change title, the ownership of a property, without changing the deed of trust or without having a payoff, without there being an actual exchange, you are causing what is known as an assessable event. So your property taxes are assessed. And so later, again, if you're just being the kind realtor, the helpful realtor, or the helpful lender, as it were, and you tell them, oh, just have my title person, or have them fill out a quitclaim and put their mom on the title, it'll all be okay, and then they have this wonderful wompy tax bill at the end, and they come back to you, it means that you kind of outstep the focus of your can, the locus of your can, and now you have to answer for it. So there's been a lot of things, but keep in mind, these details that we have, yes, we want to close your deals. We do. We want to close your deals. But we're not going to do it at the risk of your license, our insurance, or the reputation of another good realtor or a lender. We want to make sure that this goes done, and when the people buy their property, they are given what is known as marketable title. So they'll be able to sell it and won't be stuck in their, their lineage for forever. Now it's over to Annie.
Good morning. Today, most of the fraud we've seen recently is coming from the short sale. So what we're seeing is demands are being issued, but not by the bank. They will use the bank's letterhead, and also plus with the wire instructions, we'll say, well, bank approval on this short sale, and then demand's been made, and you need to wire this money on this wire, the wire instruction, the account. So what happened is we will not know this happened for a couple of months, and usually it's too late. And let me share with you a short story. There was a short sale. The loan was $417,000 on the loan, and we received the bank on the bank letterhead saying they were approved for $300,000. So the buyer was very happy. The demand has been issued, which means the buyer paid for that $300,000, and we recorded, closed the deal. Everybody's happy. We issued a title insurance. However, after a couple months, the buyer, now it's a new owner, received the notice of trustee sale notice, the letter from the bank. And they got really panicking and started making some calls, and they got contact with my company. And what happened was that there was a fraud, and nobody knows about it, because when the deal was done, it was everything looks legit. There's like a bank letterhead with a wiring instruction, and we wired the money. So that's the beauty of title insurance, because the buyer got the homeowner extended, ALTA homeowner extended policy for $300,000. So we will basically put a claim on this property. We will issue a $300,000 back to the buyer, the original buyer. And then what happened is, with $417,000 on the lender, we will contact the lender and to pretty much work through it, and we have a strong legal team and try to find the bad guys. And you will see there are a lot of frauds going on, but because we're the good guys, and we are always seems like the bad guys are always one step ahead of us, because they try to cheat the system. We are not, and that's pretty much if this things happens, and then the beauty is you do have a title insurance to cover, and whatever the face value you purchase the homeowner title policies, the title company will put the claim and then refund you the money. And I also wanted to touch base two things. The first thing is Nancy mentioned if there's no loans on the property, we call it there's going to be a recon. So when we issue a title, prelim title report, there's going to be a note saying no open deed of trust. Escrow needs to verify before closing. So that's going to be on your prelim title report if there's no loans on the property. And the second thing is when Mark talked about the transfers. So typically, when you have the prelim title report, we will list in 24 months what are the ownership changing. It's going to list. If within 24 months, if there's any ownership changing, it will list every names on the prelim title. Thank you.